Welcome to my channel Echoes of Coin. The 1-cent coin of 1959 marks a very important year in the history of United States coinage. It was the first year that the reverse design of the Lincoln cent was changed from the wheat ears, which had been used since 1909, to the new Lincoln Memorial design. This design change honored the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. On the obverse, the coin still features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left of Lincoln is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the date 1959, with a mint mark if the coin was struck at Denver. Coins without a mint mark were minted at Philadelphia. The reverse is where the major change took place. Instead of the wheat stalks, the coin now displays the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. The detailed depiction of the memorial includes, in tiny form, the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln, which can be seen with magnification. At the top of the coin is the inscription United States of America, and directly below that is the national motto E pluribus unum. At the bottom is the denomination 1 cent. The composition of the 1959 cent remained the same as earlier years, with 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin its traditional reddish-brown appearance when freshly struck. Over time, coins may tone to shades of brown due to circulation and age. In terms of mintage, more than 600 million coins were produced at Philadelphia without a mint mark, and over 1.2 billion were minted at Denver with the D mint mark. Because of this high mintage, most 1959 cents are common in circulation and hold little premium in worn condition. However, coins in high uncirculated grades, especially with bright original luster, can be sought after by collectors. Proof versions were also struck at Philadelphia for collectors, showcasing sharper details and mirror-like surfaces. The 1959 1-cent coin stands as the beginning of a new era in American coinage, introducing a design that would remain on the reverse for 50 years until 2008. It symbolizes continuity and change, keeping Lincoln's portrait on the obverse while presenting a national monument on the reverse, further solidifying the coin's role as both a piece of currency and a tribute to American history. The 1959 1-cent coin is one of the most historically significant issues of the Lincoln cent series because it represents the very first year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. Before 1959, the cent had featured the wheat ears design for exactly 50 years, from 1909 through 1958. The change in design was ordered to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This made the 1959 cent not just a regular circulating coin, but also a milestone in the evolution of U.S. coinage. The obverse of the coin continues with Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced in 1909. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic image of liberty. The design had become extremely popular and familiar, so it remained unchanged in 1959. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln, and the date 1959 to the right. Coins minted in Denver carry a small D mint mark under the date, while Philadelphia issues have no mint mark. The most significant change was made on the reverse. The new Lincoln Memorial design was created by Frank Gasparro, who later became chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. This design features a detailed image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Collectors often admire that within the memorial, the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln is visible with magnification, making it one of the rare cases where a coin's design shows the same person both on the obverse and reverse. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" at the top, the Latin motto E pluribus unum above the memorial, and the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. The coin's composition in 1959 was still 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, which gave the cent its traditional reddish hue when freshly minted. Over time, depending on circulation and storage conditions, coins may develop natural toning, changing their color from bright red to red-brown or completely brown. Collectors often value red examples much higher than those that have toned brown. Mintage for 1959 was extremely large, reflecting the cent's widespread use in everyday commerce. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 609 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced over 1.27 billion coins. Because of these high mintages, most 1959 cents remain common today, especially in circulated condition. However, uncirculated coins with full original red luster are more desirable and can carry value above face value, especially in high grades certified by grading services. Proof coins were also issued by the Philadelphia Mint, featuring mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. These proof coins were sold directly to collectors in special sets and are scarcer compared to circulation strikes. There are no major regular varieties for the 1959 cent, but collectors often pay close attention to small differences such as double dies, die cracks, or other minting errors. For example, a famous and controversial variety known as the 1959 D wheat reverse cent exists, where a Denver-minted 1959 coin was struck with the older wheat reverse instead of the new memorial reverse. The authenticity of this coin has been heavily debated, with some considering it a genuine mint error and others believing it to be fabricated. This has added even more intrigue to the 1959 cent's legacy. The significance of the 1959 cent lies not only in its abundance but also in its symbolism. It represents a transitional moment in American numismatics, where tradition met modern design. Reverse would remain on the coin for 5 decades, until it was replaced in 2009 with special bicentennial designs and then the Union Shield design in 2010. For collectors, the 1959 cent is a must-have piece, not because of rarity, but because of its historical importance as the first year of issue for the Lincoln Memorial design. High-grade examples, especially brilliant uncirculated and proof coins, make excellent additions to a collection, while error coins from this year remain highly desirable and can be worth significant premiums. The 1959 1-cent coin is a very important issue in U.S. coinage history because it marked the beginning of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which continued until 2008. Before 1959, the reverse of the Lincoln cent carried the famous wheat ears design created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. In 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat design with a new reverse created by chief engraver Frank Gasparro, showing the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This change made the 1959 cent both a commemorative coin and the start of a new era in American coinage. The obverse of the 1959 cent retains Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the design first introduced in 1909. It features Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1959 to the right. Coins struck at Denver carry the D mint mark, while those from Philadelphia have no mint mark. This obverse design is historic as it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking from the tradition of symbolic figures. The reverse is where the change occurred. Instead of wheat ears, Frank Gasparro's design features the Lincoln Memorial in great detail. In fact, under magnification, one can see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside, making the 1959 cent one of the few U.S. coins to depict the same person on both sides. Around the memorial are inscriptions, "United States of America" at the top, "E pluribus unum" above the memorial, and 1 cent at the bottom. The 1959 cent was struck in the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and features a plain edge. When freshly minted, it appears bright red, but over time, circulation causes them to tone into red-brown and brown. Collectors often classify them into red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN, depending on the amount of original red mint luster that remain. The 1959 cent was produced in very large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck 609 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced more than 1.27 billion coins. This massive mintage makes the 1959 cent common in circulation, but high-grade examples, especially with full red color, are scarcer and more desirable. While most 1959 cents are worth only face value in circulated grades, uncirculated examples graded MS65RD or higher are collected actively. Proof coins, struck at Philadelphia, are especially desirable when they display cameo or deep cameo contrast, with frosted details against mirrored fields. Collectors also look for errors and die varieties from 1959. Known errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, die clashes, and clipped planchets. The most famous controversy is the alleged 1959 D wheat reverse cent, a coin reported to have been struck with the old wheat ears reverse instead of the Lincoln Memorial. Its authenticity has been heavily debated, and even today, it is considered one of the most mysterious modern numismatic discoveries. The 1959 cent holds major historical importance. It symbolizes the end of the wheat cent era, 1909 to 1958, and the beginning of the Lincoln Memorial era, 1959 to 2008. The change was not only artistic but also cultural, reflecting America's ongoing reverence for Abraham Lincoln. For this reason, even though billions were minted, the 1959 cent remains an important first-year type coin for every Lincoln cent collector. The 1959 1-cent coin represents a turning point in U.S. coinage. With its enduring obverse of Abraham Lincoln and the brand-new reverse of the Lincoln Memorial, it launched a design that would remain in use for nearly half a century. Though common in circulation, high-grade uncirculated coins proof issues with cameo contrast, and certain rare varieties hold significant value. More than just a penny, the 1959 cent stands as a tribute to Lincoln's legacy and a milestone in American numismatic history.